Welcome to season 2 of Producer Points. My name is Justin Gamella, and I'll be your host. I'm a producer and songwriter who's had the honor of working with some of the best in the industry. This season, we're diving even deeper into one-on-one conversations with producers, mixers, songwriters, and artists, exploring their unique journeys, creative process, and insights that shape great music. Join me for real talks, straight from the studio, where music and life intersect. This is Producer Points. Today on Producer Points, we're sitting down with an artist, producer, and songwriter whose creative evolution and sheer output are nothing short of inspiring. What started as a project rooted in collaboration, producing and writing songs with featured vocalists, eventually transformed into a bold, personal journey of finding his voice and stepping behind the mic himself. Since 2019, he's released 11 albums and a flood of singles, solidifying his place as one of the most prolific and unique voices in modern music. Whether it's genre-bending production, raw lyricism, or conceptual storytelling, he continues to push boundaries with every release. He also happens to be a fellow video game fan, a Dragon Ball fan, and one of my very first friends and collaborators when I moved to LA. Beyond the music, he's just one of the kindest, most genuine humans I've had the pleasure of knowing. Join me in welcoming Unlike Pluto. Dude, thanks for being here.
Dude, thank you for having me.
I
It's a
know.
pleasure.
We, like I said in the intro, we've been friends for almost 10 years now.
10 years,
And
man.
just because of you're kind of out on the west side, I'm on the east side, the pandemic.
Different
We've
countries.
always kept in touch, but we haven't been able to, as close as I think we both would have wanted to. We've been
Yeah.
reconnecting the last couple of weeks. It's been so nice to get text from you again. I've been loving it. I know it's been really great, man. But dude, how have you been? What are you doing right now?
Dude, I'm doing this. It's the same. It's always the same for me. Always a lot of songs, songwriting, production until like 4 a.m. A lot of video games and making a manga. And that's it.
I know, yeah, I forgot to mention that. I wasn't sure if you were still doing it, the manga,
Yeah.
but I know you were still doing it. That's sick.
Very difficult, but it's
I-
happening.
I can imagine. Are you drawing it too, or are you just writing it?
No, I write and I've been working with a team, 2 illustrators for 3 years,
Wow.
almost 4 years. So it's a process.
That's sick, man. Yeah, dude. I know I'm gonna read it when it comes out. Do you have any timeline on it, or it's just so up in the air?
It's completely up in the air. We're at the mercy of editors, so you have to work with. I can't devail. I can't give too many details, but I think it's gonna take another 6 months.
Okay, that's amazing though. That's so exciting.
Yeah. It's a one shot, so it's 50 pages of a beginning to end story, not a series. It's
Right.
just a one shot, and it's with a really cool company that I can't name. But again, we have to get it approved, so it's a whole
Dude,
process.
I know that's so exciting. I'm so excited for you. I just love when artists, music artists, other artists do other ventures.
Like when Gerard, the reason I wanted to do this
Yep.
was I saw Gerard Way do Umbrella Academy, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to.
And
I wanna
Umbrella
do this.
Academy, I never read the actual comic, but I love the show.
Love the
And-
show. I never read comics. I just read manga.
Yeah, there exactly. So yeah,
Yeah.
and he's one of the examples where it's just man, that's so cool
Yeah.
that and I think people sometimes think it's when you do something else, it doesn't make your own art as authentic, which I think is so bullshit.
Oh yeah, no.
Have you felt that from other people? Do you have you seen that along the interwebs?
Yeah, I've seen Reddit threads of
Yeah.
people just talking mad shit about everything.
Yeah, of course.
No, I think any creative person can take the taste and the creative energy that you've built and fostered, and then apply that to something else if you're passionate about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Only
That-
if you're passionate. If you want to do it, you'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't love when someone does act, and are you just acting because someone offered you a
Yeah.
part and you were like, that seemed cool, versus
However,
Yeah.
Who's the actress in White Lotus this season?
oh, I haven't watched this season, but there's a lot of
so-
them.
I think she's great. She's the K-pop star. I think she's
Oh,
great.
is it Jenny or
Jenny.
Yeah, I
Or
heard, yeah.
not Lisa. Jenny.
I don't know. I remember reading that. I haven't watched the show yet, so I don't
It's
know.
great.
I've watched the first 2 seasons. I'm waiting to watch this season with the wife. So we always
It's
have
great.
to. Yeah, I know. I'm
It's
very
good.
excited. I heard she's really great in it.
She's very natural at acting.
Yeah.
I didn't know who she was when I first
Right.
watched it. I'm like, wait, is that? Wait, it is. And
Yeah,
it's one of the most
but-
famous people on earth.
But it just makes sense for so many of these pop stars, right? They are not they're playing characters. That's why it's like Lady Gaga is such a good actress. It's like
She's so good.
she said it's like Lady Gaga is like a character that she's like playing, and it's like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
part of her art, and so it just makes so much sense. Did you know that
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus was playing Hannah Montana? That was also a character.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I think my friend did that theme song. If
Really?
I remember, yeah, one of my friends did that
That's so funny.
a long time ago.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
Well, we start off every podcast by asking our guests how they got their start in music production, artists world. I know a little bit about your story, but our listeners might
yeah.
not. So, where'd you start?
Like professionally, like
I,
where how you got in
you
the
could have
industry.
started when you were 5 years old. Wherever you want to start from, my friend.
I mean, we had a piano, and I always just played. I tried learning Pee Wee Herman's theme song, and I would put Sharpie marks on the piano. Um, and I loved the Jurassic Park. My first ever thing I ever owned was the Jurassic Park cassette tape,
Oh,
orange one.
the main
That was
theme, the da na na da da
so
da.
good,
So good.
so good. Um, but how I got my start in music, I think, was definitely high school. I would make folk music, bluegrass music, and really heavy metal music when I was in. It was so random,
Yeah.
but what can you do when you have
Right.
diverse taste in music? Um, but yeah, I did all those, and they sounded terrible, awful. Just should never be heard by anyone, including myself. I don't want to hear it. Um, and then I just started. I went to college. I didn't want to deal with drummers anymore, so I found
Wait,
it.
can you expand on
Yeah,
that? I was so what's the joke there?
I was in bands. I was in a few bands in
Yeah,
like later in high school, and it's the drummers. You're always at the mercy of going to the drummer's house to practice,
that is
and like
true.
you're at the
Yeah.
mercy of their schedule. And this is high school, And I just found it so annoying. We didn't have, or maybe we did have contact drums. I didn't know what it
Yeah.
was back then.
Right.
Um, and it was just I thought so annoying. And then I heard Bring Me the Horizon because I loved Bring Me the Horizon so much.
Yeah.
They had a remix album of Suicide Season,
Oh,
and it was Tech One. I know Skrillex was on that, but I was obsessed with Tech One's remix of Sleep with One Eye Open. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it was amazing. It blew
yeah.
my mind. And then I found Justice, and then I found Dead Mouse, and I'm like, I'm
Right.
just gonna do this.
Right.
And then Skrillex came out, and then EDM. I did remixes, SoundCloud. Most of them I think were illegal. I'm pretty sure they were all bootlegs. I don't know if we all did it. Okay, we're all
I think
guilty.
but I think it's like that was like the thing, and it's like as long as you're not profiting off it, which I'm not asking you to answer that question. I
No,
think
no,
that's what made
never. I
it
don't think you
legal.
could.
Yeah,
But you could
that's what
build a
it was.
fan base
Right.
off making bootleg. I think kids are doing it still on TikTok, maybe.
Yeah, they do it all the time. I mean, like now you see so many artists. I mean, it's so much easier because you can rip stems with AI.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah, these kids they're able to like rip, anything
Oh,
from it, and it takes them, 2 minutes.
man, I had to take like Coldplay clocks. I remember I
Yeah.
was maybe 21. I literally just took clocks. I just made it into like a progressive house remix. It's
Yeah.
so questionable what I did. But yeah, I think kids are still doing it, and I support it because I think there's so many, like I heard what's that one song? Hey, what's up? Hello.
Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun. Some kid did a orchestral remix to it on TikTok, and it's so good. And it went,
Well, I
I
mean,
think it went
so many
semi-viral.
of these guys and gals that are making that kind of music, and including yourself, it's like, which actually not including yourself because you're actually a great songwriter, but they're not good songwriters, right? They're just like amazing
Mm.
like sound designers, and they just need a good top line
Yeah.
to put
Yeah.
their music around. And it's like when you don't have access to
Yeah.
like other singers, it's like, all right, I guess I'll just take this and just like show off what I can do.
Fully
Um,
support it.
yeah, no, I think it's great. And now people
I
like
love
they'll
it.
find like splice vocals too. It's just like there's so
Yeah.
much more of a world that's opened up.
I
Um,
love it. I wish we
yeah,
had that
I know,
up and
dude. It's
running.
like now it's so much easier. Dude, have you checked out this? I just found out about it. This kind of newer website that's splice adjacent called
Mm.
Tracklib.
No. What is it
Dude,
called?
you might love it. It's called Tracklib. And
Oh, I've
basically,
heard of it. I've heard of it.
yeah, yeah, I just started using it. I'm obsessed with it. But basically, it's like uh, a, a collection of music from like the past 100 years. So like records,
Whoa.
and they work with labels directly and artists directly, and they're like
Mm.
pre-cleared samples. So you still have to like,
Oh,
so basically you can like use all these things knowing that you'll be able to clear them.
yeah, yeah.
and then you just like once you if you're gonna release it, you basically like you have to like pay a certain amount. I don't think it's that much. I think it's like 15-20 bucks to like clear the sample.
Oh,
But it's like a really cool way and legal way to like,
that's
use
cool.
it. Yeah, and I've been like just like I go on there every day and I just like find like samples that I can like,
Yeah, yeah.
from records. I don't know. It's been really cool. So I highly
That's
suggest
really
it.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, because then you could do remixes. You can even include it in your original song too.
Well, you can like
That's
do it like how like like rap, rap music from the 90s. It was all like
oh yeah.
samples
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like you can do stuff like that and it's legal. And it's like,
That's awesome.
yeah, sick. So like I don't know, I'm like starting to experiment with it and I'm having so much fun.
See, I would like AI to come in and like help with like licensing and all that stuff. That'd be
Yeah.
cool,
I
right?
mean yeah, it's just this is like I think what's genius about this is that because they're all pre-cleared, I
Yeah,
think especially like working with labels and stuff, it makes them breathe a little bit easier.
it's
Where it's
cool.
like, oh, you use a sample from this song, and now we gotta like find this random
Yeah,
guy,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like, some of these guys are like, it was like music that was released in the 60s, and it's like, we gotta find
Mm.
this random old dude to like clear this sample.
And like all those songs have like 10 writers on them. You have to
Yeah.
go through 10. But I did a cover of the Wymona Wannabe cover.
Yep.
And it was to get that
For our
cleared.
listeners, that's like one of your side projects where you were kind of doing
Yeah.
covers and stuff. Yeah.
It was a cover and it went viral twice on TikTok. The second time, or first time it went viral,
Yeah.
we upstreamed it. And to get the publishing cleared, it took like even from a major label, it took like 4 months or
Yeah,
something.
it's
It's
a
like
real pain in
crazy.
the ass sometimes to like get it all cleared and it's like but
Crazy.
you have to go through like the Harry Fox agency or whatever and they like kind of
Oh,
help handle all that stuff.
oh,
Yeah, it's really I mean, it's like listen, I'm a huge songwriter advocate. I'm glad that we have those things in place, but like yeah,
yeah,
I wish it was just like a little bit easier to
I
like
know.
get it done. Cuz like hey, everyone's winning like you're going to get paid from this song, you know? Like
I wish publishing got paid more with. I wish since the beginning publishing got more of the streaming, but I just give whenever I write with people, I just give part of the master.
yeah, because
So it's
you're a good human and that's how it's supposed to be.
I think every artist should. I like
Yes.
it's and also they make money for I think publishing independently doesn't make much money unless you're like
No.
huge.
No, I
Um
mean, it's like publishing on Spotify, like it doesn't you see almost nothing. That's why it's like
yeah.
everyone is obsessed. We were kind of having a conversation before that's like everyone is obsessed with, obviously radio cuts because that's where the real money
Yeah,
is in
yeah.
publishing and like K-pop and J-pop like physical sales,
Mm,
like that's where you can make good money off publishing. Otherwise, it's like it's
yeah.
only on the master side of things.
I know.
And I think you've been lucky because you've mostly worked with indie labels. Like you haven't really worked with like
Yeah.
any majors. I think that's
Yeah,
the thing
no.
too, is like when you're for our listeners, it's like when you're working with a major label, the
Mm.
usual master splits are like the label owns
Oh,
80%,
oh
and
yeah.
then you only have like 20% left to give as an artist.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the time these artists do want to like
Yeah.
give
Hold on.
master, but it's like at that point, and this is like it's been a hot debate in the songwriting community,
Mm,
actually funny enough the last couple weeks that now it's like, okay, well, you want the artist to still have a good amount of it because like
mm.
that's their art, and then the producers, and now it's like songwriters and what in the pop world is anywhere from like 2 to 10 writers.
Yeah.
So now like those 2 to 10 writers are maybe splitting like 2 or 3
Oh,
points if they're lucky to get 1 point,
yeah.
and then what ends
That's
up
crazy.
and
Wait,
then
on
on
the
top,
master.
yes, and then on top of that, they usually have to
Oh,
stand behind all the costs that the label is putting up for like
the
to pay
recouping.
the
Yeah,
recouping.
yeah. Wait,
And
you have to recoup? You're part of the recoupment process as well? Or just the artist is?
no, usually how labels want to do it is like, hey, we're spending between mixing, producer
Yeah, yeah.
fees, advertising, music video. Let's say they spend like $150,000, and it's like no
Yeah.
one gets paid until that $150,000 is paid back first.
I know some indie labels, depending on the artist, I guess if you feature an artist,
Right.
you can set it up so the artist recoups, but the other payments go directly. Like there's
Yeah.
no recoupment for the other people involved.
Right.
Um, if they have a very low percentage, but
Right.
if you have high percentage, you should
Yeah,
be
that's what I'm saying. It's like if I have a high percentage, I don't mind standing behind those costs
yeah,
personally. But
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like when it's like a songwriter, where they have 1%, now they got to stand behind all these costs, and it's
yeah, yeah.
like, it sucks. And
It's crazy.
that's what I was saying, where it's like songwriters are rightfully trying to fight for like a master plan on
Yeah,
these major label things, but I'm like trying to educate them, where it's like, guys, it's not that much money. Like it's
I
really
know.
not.
It's
It's oh,
not. It's not.
it's like what sucks, and it's like that's why I was always thankful for artists like you and
Mhm.
I worked with a bunch of other. It was like so many guys and girls in like the EDM community where they were like really
Yeah.
equitable with master share and like even as a
Mhm.
songwriter, I always got it as like a vocal producer or co-producer, but I was getting like anywhere from like 5 to 25% of the master a lot of the time, and it was
Yep.
really like it helped me, and this is me saying thank you because
Yeah. Yeah.
it helped me start my career in music where
Mm.
it was like, cool, I'm like making money and that means I can work my regular job less. And it's like,
Mm.
those are the steps that we need to take for these like songwriters that are starting out to like be able to,
Yeah.
like start having those like royalty streams coming in. Like I still
Yeah.
get Monster Cat statements and like from
Yeah.
records that we've done. They're not that much anymore, but
Yeah. Yeah.
there's something.
Yeah. No, it's passive income, and if you own a lot,
Right.
if you destroy your body like I have, and you just keep going,
Yeah.
and enjoy the process as well. Yes, I'm holding a lemon. I don't know why. When life gives you lemons. Um,
Oh my god.
yeah, I think I totally lost my train of thought.
No, it's fine. I mean, like the point being, it's just that like I love that you and artists are starting to, and you, I mean, you have for 10 years, like given
Mm,
the other
yep.
creators share, um, in the master, and like
It
you seem
just
to be
it
doing okay.
shocks some people.
Oh,
It
I know.
shocks. Like
Yeah.
when I say how much I gave this, they're like, why would you do that? They weren't on the master. I'm like, I mean, what are they going to make like 2 cents from publishing?
Right.
Come
Yeah.
on. Like this isn't
And
on a major, it does it less chance of getting synced because it's so independent, you
right.
know?
Right.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
shocks. It
No.
genuinely, I have shocked people in conversations.
Yeah. And dude, like I have to like and it's like it's also a good way for I think artists, EDM artists or regular artists to like who are releasing independently, like you'd be surprised what sometimes bigger songwriters, I'll put that in quote, bigger songwriters you could work with if they one believe in you and then you're like, hey, like I'm very equitable with
Yeah.
how I split my master
Yeah.
because they know like, uh that even though your song will be quote unquote less successful, they could
Hmm.
make more money than
Yeah.
like, so anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um I want to talk a little bit more about you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
One of my questions that I had for you that I really wanted you to open up about was
Mm.
I mentioned in the intro, and this is for our listeners who may not know who you are. I'm sure a lot of these listeners are big fans of you and they know these
Hey.
answers already. But what made you want to go from being, more typical EDM producer artist
Hmm.
where it's like you're making
Oh,
tracks or you're getting top lines and stuff, and then
yeah.
made you want to be like, you know what? No, I want to like sing my own stuff and do the thing.
I have two moments actually, specifically. It's crazy when you live as long as I have. Um, you start to remember like very specific moments as like core memories of like, oh,
Yeah.
that really changed me. There's two moments. I was on tour with Zed's Dead in 2016, and I was with the crew. I actually think it was Cleveland, Ohio, which the people in Cleveland were so awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
Um, and I was eating lunch with the crew, and I was like, these crew members toured with everyone. They've toured with major like bands, and they're crew members. Like
Right.
they go everywhere. Metallica to like Chili Peppers to Marilyn Manson,
They
like
have
everything.
some miles on their legs.
They have miles.
Yeah.
And I looked at them like, because I was so young, I looked at
Right.
them like, hey, like, help me, mentor me. I asked them, hey, what's one advice you have? And they're like, sing. And they like pointed at the venue. They're like, listen, this is fun and this is great. But like, if you learn how to sing, you can scale this and make this last longer
Right.
and more personal. Um, and they were like talking about like how there's shows of certain artists where fans will come up and cry because of just the lyrics, you know,
Right. Yeah, of
and
course.
it resonates with people. That was the first moment. I think a couple months later, I was on Holy Ship, and I'm not going to say any names. It's not a negative thing. It's just a personal thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I was on the roof deck, as I think I was like, I was sipping on a drink. I wasn't drunk at all. I was very sober.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was on the roof deck of this cruise, EDM cruise, and I was like, I saw it was like I'm not gonna say who, but it was a dubstep back to back to back to back to back, B to B to B to
Right,
B.
right.
It was like 20 dudes up there just playing. And it was like it sounded everything was off time. The transitions were like so janky. I was like, what's going on? And I look in like the pool, which is where like this kind of like the audience was. It was
Right.
like a pool and then the stage. And like I look at people in the pool and they're like, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
just tweaking
what am
out.
I doing? What am I doing here? This is not for me.
Right.
Um, where I do think it's a very positive experience. Like I love the EDM community,
Yeah.
but I was like, man, I spent so many years learning music. I want to do more. Like I love EDM. I love the production aspects of EDM, and I love the fan base. I love Plur. Okay, but I like was like, I want to do more than this.
Yeah.
And I looked out in the ocean and I was like, yeah, I think I want to start singing on my songs. And that those are the two moments.
Dude, that's sick. And then I remember you telling me you started taking like voice lessons and started doing the
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
None of it worked on me. I'm very stubborn with.
But your voice
I
is so good and like you're able to like kind of do like the screamy kind of vocals and stuff too.
it's unhealthy. I still use my throat more than I
Yeah.
should. But yeah, I mean, if you do it enough and you take notes, it doesn't matter what you do. Like Damon Albarn was the biggest inspiration to me
Mhm.
because, again, he's one of my favorite musicians, but he has such a particular voice.
Yes.
It's not an Adele voice, but
No,
it's
but
such a
that's what we
particular,
want in pop music. It's like I so much more gravitate towards unique sounding voices than like
totally.
amazing voices because there's plenty of people who have amazing voices and who can sing
Oh
on
yeah.
Broadway and opera,
Yeah.
and it's like, but not everyone can like, you know,
Mhm.
sing like even like a good example is like a Billie Eilish. It's like yes,
Yeah.
girl can sing, but it's like she's so unique and like
The personality just
right,
oozes out of
right,
even just one note, you
right,
know?
right,
It's crazy.
yeah.
I forgot what we were talking about.
No, no, just your voice. No, and then and like, 11 albums later, which is still so
Yeah.
insane to me that you had such a high
Crazy, man.
output. What was like how
Yeah.
did you keep that up? Like were you mostly working doing everything 100% yourself? Were you doing co-writes every
Yeah.
once in a while? What was the workflow like?
I always wrote with two of my childhood best friends, um, just one at a time.
Yeah,
On the phone, it was all remote and it was mostly lyrics.
sick.
And yeah, I would just do everything myself. The reason I did that was because I knew like my Everything Black tour,
Right.
the first tour I basically had, um, there was no marketing done for it. I don't know why. I was so young, I didn't know. And it's, tour completely bombed. This was 2016,
Yeah.
uh, or 2017. And I knew like I had a feeling my agents were going to like wean off. I just knew it. So I was like, oh, it's fight or flight mode. So I was like, what can I do? And I noticed my YouTube was like something was happening with my YouTube. I would get like 15 comments on an original song posted. So when life gives you lemons, um, cut that out, cut this out. When life gives you lemons, like I saw that as some things I didn't, again, I don't know anything about YouTube, but I just was like, oh, I'm just gonna make a bunch of songs.
Yeah.
And that's what it's turned into.
Yeah. I mean like what's your workflow like? Like how from like start to finish on each
Oh,
record on average. I know it can be different for
oh,
every song, but like on
yeah,
average, like how long is it taking you per song to do it? Because you're also like mixing and mastering everything yourself, right?
everything,
Yeah.
everything. I started to, this is the first time is I am releasing 10 songs with other singers. And I am getting those mastered, which has
Sick.
been amazing.
Yeah.
So good.
I think having a mastering it, like I think a lot of guys, can like mix their own stuff, especially like in the EDM ish
Yeah,
world.
yeah,
I know like what you're doing now isn't really EDM, but
yeah.
I think it's like the mastering is the thing where it's like, okay, like
Mhm.
those guys know how to make it so
Oh,
it like can work on like Spotify and radio like much better than we do.
so I just put a pro L. I don't. I
Yeah.
try not to compress at all on really anything. And
Yeah.
when I show you Everything Black, you'll
Yeah.
see it's like there was almost it was such a bare bone
Yeah.
master channel. Literally was like an EQ, tiny compression, not even a dB of attenuation, and
Right.
then pro L.
There you go.
That was it.
Crazy.
What was the question? I forgot. What you asked
No,
me?
just like how long is it taking you? Does
Oh.
it take you from like start from like when you write it to like mixing and
Mhm.
mastering on average?
I have a plugin or a Max for Live plugin in Ableton that it's fairly accurate because it goes idle and has a little coffee thing. It's cute. Um, I would say it's like 50 hours to 60 hours per
Per
song.
wow. Damn, that's
Um,
crazy.
and it's the good songs, like in my opinion, the better songs, the more higher quality ones. It's like almost 15 hours of writing of just, man, when you do a chorus, like don't stop. Like
Right.
make a melody and just don't stop and just keep making different variations of it or whatever. Sometimes the melody is just great off the bat, but
Right, right.
sometimes you have to like, but yeah, I would say 10 to 15 hours of writing of just pure, I am producing a little bit, but I'm just, throwing
Just get
sounds in
yeah,
there.
getting the vibes like to see how it feels.
Yeah, just see how it feels. And I have so many, nowadays it's not like 2015.
Right.
Um, we have so many options for sounds. Uh, and yeah, I would say it goes up to 60 hours of production. And all my songs, because I'm crazy, okay? Because I'm absolutely insane. I have, if it's a song with like Mike Taylor,
Right.
it's gonna have like almost 200 channels, maybe more
Right.
of I separate everything, and I'll always do stems at like 30 hours in.
So
I'll always do
you'll
stems.
start like printing things down and committing
Yeah,
things. Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
print it down, and I'm obsessed with editing vocals, but in a very natural way.
Yeah.
I really dislike how a lot of people melodyne. I really don't like the double clicking thing that people do. I think that you should listen to trust your ear. Not everything should be in tune.
Yes.
Um, you should really, and also there's certain singers that like the way that they hit a note of like you cannot
Dude,
tune that.
I don't know if you remember this. I have such a specific memory when one of the first times we worked together was with our buddy Desi Valentine.
Oh, he's so good. Oh,
Right, amazing singer. And
so good,
I
man.
was at the time, and I still do use it a ton because I think it's the most natural sounding one. I use Tune a lot,
Yep.
and I never like did the whole like we're gonna like do everything at 100% because you know me, I'm like I like a very natural sounding vocal.
Mhm.
And one of the things I learned with Desi, because this was like again when I first came out to LA, like I was mostly before that like working with like the one singer from my band or myself. Like those were the only vocals I was doing. And then when I came out here,
Mhm.
started working with more singers, you start blah blah blah.
Mhm.
But he had this like one note, and I was
Yeah.
trying to tune, and I was like, man, what the fuck is going on here? Like now it sounds too flat, now it sounds too sharp. And then I realized that like it sounded best like in between two notes. It was kind of like a
Yeah.
bluesy bend thing. And like I remember it was like at your studio where I was like,
Yep.
oh,
Yeah.
that's a thing I need to pay attention to and trust my ears.
100%.
Yeah.
That's why if AI ever came out to tune vocals, I would never use it.
Yeah.
I would only use it if like I could have like an assistant that watches how I tune maybe like 50 songs and
Right.
then
And
maybe.
then
Um it's such a different process for a vocalist and even the song and the melody. And sometimes, which is I view this is my it's a nightmare to me.
yeah.
Um I've had actually nightmares about this. When you make a guitar or a song with a guitar that's slightly out of tune and the guitar tone is so awesome
You
that you
can't yeah.
can't and the way you played it you can't go back and just recreate it
Yeah.
sometimes you have to tune the vocals like it's almost like microtonal. That's a nightmare for me. If that
You know
ever
what you could
happens to
do?
me again I
Have
might
you
quit
never
music.
have you never done the thing though where it's like you could just like go into Melodyne and you figure out what like the A
Yeah,
440 is
yeah,
for like in the guitar where it's like okay the whole guitar is up 30 cents, and then you could just like shift the whole thing up a like you know if it's 30 cents like A
totally.
is 470, and then it makes everything you know be a little bit make a little bit more sense. But
Wait, you can shift the entire melodyne?
yeah,
Okay, so did not know that.
yeah, there you
And
go. I taught you something.
okay, so no more nightmares anymore. I had
Yeah,
well, in my defense, this was like the last time this happened was like 9 years ago or
yeah.
whatever.
Dude, I've
Horrible.
had in the past, when I did more sound better stuff on a Furlist or sound better is like a website where it's like you can hire it doesn't matter. But there
Mm.
was like a couple people where like there's people that are obsessed with like tuning in 432 because they believe it's like
Oh my
you
God.
know, whatever. I don't know if it's true or not. I honestly don't care. But they were like, yeah, I did the song in
Yeah.
432, and that's when I learned it's like most plugins, like even synths and stuff, you can like tune where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
A is 432.
Yep.
Or it's like and so you can do it in Melodyne and auto tune and everything as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
So
Like,
yeah,
so
you don't have to
that
worry.
that's the the frequency in which it
It's like the
starts.
relative,
Yeah,
right? It's like, okay, if A is 432 hertz, then we just
got
shift
it.
everything down, whatever.
Interesting.
But yeah, I was
Mm.
gonna say it's like tuning is such an art. People think it's like a
Yeah.
job, but it really is. It's why like the best of the best vocal producers like get paid what they do. Like I charge a
Oh,
decent
dude.
amount to do a vocal production because I like tell people they're like, why should I pay you,
Mhm.
X amount of money to like do my vocals? Like because I'm like you're paying me for my taste. You're not paying me to
Mhm.
like it's not like fixing a toilet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where it's just like I'm going in there and I'm just like clicking a few buttons and it's done. It's like, no, no, I'm like trusting my judgment and like doing what I want.
Yeah.
The only time I'm doing the double click Melodyne thing is like,
I mean,
well,
sometimes listen, sometimes I do it too.
no, no, no.
Okay. To
Sometimes you have
start.
to,
Yeah.
but I do it a lot because especially with like pitch songwriting and demos, it's like
Oh, dude.
I don't have the bandwidth to do this, like tune every vocal exactly
Yeah,
how I
no.
would want
Oh
to.
my God. Dude,
So
can't
it's
no.
like that's where the double click. But like when I know a song is coming out and it's with a singer where I want it to sound very natural, it's like I'm in
Oh
there
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah,
doing
without not to get too nerdy,
get
without
nerdy.
ARA integration, like
Yeah.
the fuck is gonna print all of these things in like Ableton? Studio One. Just wish Ableton would add
Are you in
AR.
Studio One?
I did for just vocals for years
Uh,
because I think it's superior to
yeah.
it. Dude, you can it's
I know
so
Studio
good.
One's great. I've like messed with it. I know a couple buddies that use it and it's really nice.
Oh, it's so good. It's just I'm too Ableton's like a
You're
part of
you're
my
too
DNA,
comfortable.
so I
Yeah,
can't.
dude. Well, Pro Tools has ARA in it now, and I can like Melodyne with like
Does.
ARA. Dude, it's so nice. It's like so much faster.
If Ableton adds that, oh my gosh.
Yeah, especially for like harmonies and stuff, where it's like I
Oh,
don't care if those are overtuned, and it's like the fact that I could just like do all these harmonies at the same time is like boop boop, and it's good. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
amazing. So like
It's
such a time
amazing.
saver. Yeah,
I just
yeah.
wish
I
they would add
bet
it. What were
you.
we talking about before that? I
No, we're
totally
talking about
forgot.
vocals, but I feel like, and don't worry about tangents. Like you don't
Yeah, yeah,
worry
yeah.
about this. We're tangents are fucking great. Um,
In music too, you know.
yeah, but no, 60 hours. But it's funny. It's like I hear you say 50, 60 hours. It's like
Yeah,
that's how much I'll also work on a
yeah,
record when I know it's coming out. But I don't release nearly as many records as you do.
yeah.
But I guess like you're also like you're not writing 3 to 5 days a week either. I guess right or like,
Every day.
but by
I
yourself, like
write. It's it changed. I have a project called like Saturn 2, which is like
okay, yeah,
very.
yeah.
It's pretty much
Totally
just
forgot about that. Yeah,
experimental. You know, like
yeah,
maybe Mercury.
right.
Um, but I did it just because it's very just don't because Pluto sometimes is when you're in an act or a project or working for an artist, you're
Right.
stuck kind of. You get
Right.
boundaries
Yeah.
and those boundaries are great creatively, Lemon. Um, those boundaries are great, okay? But sometimes you just want to break those down and just make
Yeah,
whatever you want.
dude.
It's,
I mean that's why I love my job where it's like I work with different artists all the time and it's like I
Mhm,
love when like I was talking about this yesterday in my session where it's like I'll work with an artist and like I'm making like it's like a singer-songwritery kind of organic type vibe and I'll
mhm.
do that for like 6 weeks. And then
Yep.
I love like the first thing I want to do after that is like I just want to write a dumb stupid pop song. That's all I want to do right now.
Those are
I,
always great, man.
yeah, it's like I've been taking everything so seriously. These songs are so personal. I just want to write a dumb pop song, So it's
You know, one
uh
time, I did the same thing.
yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a song remix. And honestly, it was great. I never released it, but it was awesome.
Yeah, that's fucking amazing. Dude,
Uh,
are you with anyone for publishing right now? Or are you still self-published?
Zero
What's
self-published.
damn. How are you what are
No.
you this might be good for listeners too. What are you
Yeah.
using to like collect some of like that publishing to make sure you're getting it all?
The BMI, I do Sound Exchange and Song Trust.
Song Trust is the big yeah, that's the big one for self-published
That's
songwriters.
but I'm thinking about because when you start having when you start having a catalog of stuff that
Yeah,
that you own and whatever, having that on DistroKid or a company like Song Trust, which is essentially like you plug it in and
right.
it's into a machine. Sometimes it is beneficial to go to more smaller companies that spend more time on your
Right.
stuff. Um, that is the process. I may change that, but I do
Right.
use those are available to anyone.
I feel like you might like again, that's just a conversation that might be good for like again like our listeners to hear, but like I feel like I always tell artists and producers like you where it's like I'm mostly doing my own stuff. I don't really need a publisher to
Mhm.
like service me in the sense of like looking for uh sessions and
Yeah.
pitching out your songs. That's like the value of a publisher for most songwriters.
Hmm.
Someone like you, like I feel like an admin deal
Yeah.
would make
It could
so
work.
much
Yeah.
more sense. And again, for our listeners, an admin deal is like they're mostly just doing administration work, like they're
Hmm.
collecting your royalties and they take a smaller percentage
Yeah.
because of that. Usually, sometimes like publishing deals, usually you're splitting, you're publishing 50-50. Admin deals, it's
Hmm.
like 70-30, 75-25, 80-20. It's sometimes as low as 90-10 if you can like
Hmm.
be that successful at it. So
Yeah.
a lot of people end up doing things like that when they don't need the publishing services.
I think I'm
Um,
headed there at
yeah,
some point.
yeah.
I just my head's been in my ass.
No,
Uh,
but it's good. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, listen, you if I was able to like if the money's fine, like don't worry about it too much. But but then it's also like admins stuff will like
yeah.
Cobalt's really good at like they're mostly admin and they're really good with like getting syncs and
Mhm.
stuff. And they again, this isn't for you, this is for our listeners, young producers or songwriters, like they love artists who like own 100% of everything and they're like,
Yes.
"Oh, we can clear this so much easier." Yes.
Yeah.
Like that's like every
Yeah.
publisher's dream. Just
Yeah. That's yeah. Owning your music is great, man.
yeah.
Just making. And when I was looking at the Everything Black session, I was
Yeah.
like, man, I still don't think I know what I'm doing, but I really had
No.
no idea. Dude, the kicks, I thought the kicks were phasing, like, but maybe it's because half the plugins are disabled because they're all like
Right.
VST1.
Yeah, you don't have it anymore.
They were Pro Q2.
But like sometimes, but like that's the thing where it's like, I always tell people where it's like learn the rules, but you also have to learn to forget them
Yeah.
because like if it sounds good, like sometimes that out of phaseness is like doing a weird thing to the low end
Yeah.
that you
Something
like.
that sounds really cool,
Right. Sometimes it
you
sounds
know?
really cool and then you're like, oh, okay, like this is actually kind of dope. Like, so, don't,
Mhm.
it's like with anything, like don't only use your eyes. Don't only like be like,
Yeah.
well,
No.
I saw this one TikTok video that said I have to compress vocals like this. And so
No.
it's like,
No.
no, like
No.
don't do it like that.
Ugh.
You always have to trust your taste and like turn
Ugh.
some knobs.
Yeah,
Exactly.
just dude, do your own thing. Learn the basics for sure.
Yeah.
There was I wanted to say this earlier
Yeah.
for vocal editing. When I worked at a studio called Serenity West back in
Yeah.
2013 when I first moved here, and the Alex Anders that did the vocals for Glee was in the A room. He's the sweetest guy ever.
I remember you talking about him when we were
He
first
was
working together.
oh, he was the coolest guy, and just seeing how much he worked in Melodyne and seeing what he could do
Right.
to because sometimes those singers will come in with like they only had 20 minutes to do
Right.
something.
Yeah. They were pumping out songs. Like you can't like do like more than
Pump.
2 or 3 takes probably to like,
Oh,
yeah.
he had celebrities come in that only had like 5 minutes. It was crazy. And he would
Yeah.
somehow make these vocals sound so good. And it was just pure work. It
Yeah.
was just manual, nothing was automatic. It was like just hit Alt or Control, which one is Option? I'm used to
Is it
PC.
command? Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah. Just
just
like move it like
yeah,
little by little. Yeah.
micro shifted.
Yeah.
And yeah, just seeing how he did vocals, like how he sliced and you know
Yeah.
tuned and smoothed it out. That I think taught me I think the most about being patient with vocals and also realizing that there are some vocalists like Desi and Mike Taylor who have very their tones sometimes. I'm not going to say it's like throat singing, but it's
No,
like
but it's just like this, like it's like aggro in the best way.
yeah, it's like it's aggro and it doesn't really translate to Melodyne
No.
and you don't have to make everything perfect. Just, listen to your ear. And, if your left value is -3 and it sounds great,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
You're
Don't worry
making
about it.
funk. It's
Yeah.
okay.
It's fine. That's the thing too about like I think the one thing I learned about Melodyne is that like not everything also like not every word or syllable has to go through Melodyne. That's what I learned with like some of those like more aggro things where it's like
Yes.
tuning does not like that stuff. It like messes it up a lot of the
I
time.
am wait, okay, okay, okay. I'm so glad you brought this up.
Yeah.
Uh I specifically one of the things I always do is I always chop where the sibilances are,
Yeah.
always. And breaths too. Because I like keeping breaths. I just automate, I have a chain automation, macro automation with all of my compressors and a vocal
Yeah.
chain. All the breaths, I just take out the compression entirely.
Yeah.
I like keeping breaths.
Yeah.
Um,
Same.
because if you take them out, it just everything sounds so I don't know, too pristine, too
Yes.
sterile to me. And in the world of AI, you want to sound human.
Yes. Human.
But yeah, I always do that. I always make sure never to tune this or
Yep. Because
never.
Melodyne will make it sound
Yeah.
weird. And I found like a good workaround. I work in Pro Tools, but you can do this in other DAWs. But basically, like what I do is before I Melodyne it, I always in Pro Tools just duplicate the playlist. In
Hmm.
Ableton, it's maybe just like take the vocal track and just like keep it inactive and have it there.
Yeah.
But but I guess Ableton has playlists now too. Just like keep one where it's like Melodyne is not touching this. And then I
Yep.
will Melodyne the whole thing, put autotune on it, and then I'll have that other one down there where it's
Hmm.
like I'll just kind of drag everything up for
Yeah.
where I'm like, the Melodyne's doing a weird thing. Let me
Yeah.
drag this up to make it do a thing. And then sometimes it's like I'll use autotune to tune it just because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, autotune is like so much cleaner sounding, but you have less control.
Yeah.
And it's like, so everything is kind of a custom job. And
Hmm.
same thing, I, our listeners know I talk about vocal clip gaining a ton, and part of vocal clip
Yeah.
gaining is bringing down the breaths, bringing down
Hmm.
all the consonants, like not relying too heavily on a de-esser,
Yep.
bringing
Yep.
down. You can really get in there with Pro Tools, like bringing down the peaks of
Hmm.
certain words. Again, not relying on my compressor too much, even though I do record them with compression.
Hmm.
Um, but it's all those things that like that's it's like when people ask me like, Justin, how do you get your vocals to sound so good and natural? It's like I put the time in.
Yeah.
It's
Takes
not
time.
it's not a 15-minute thing, you
Takes
know?
so much time.
Right. And like it's things that like sure, maybe AI can maybe do one day. I don't know. But it's like AI
Yeah.
is also not picking the takes that I'm picking. AI is not, I don't know if
Yeah.
it's
No.
able to
No.
like
Yeah.
look past where it's like, okay, that's a little flat, but I love like the tone that it's like getting, like all those
Yeah.
things.
I think AI is. We can talk about AI.
Sure.
Fully listen. I'm fully against them just not paying royalties to training off of copyrighted stuff. It's unethical. You can't build a house with stolen bricks and say it's your house. It's like unethical. Is it legal? Sure. I'm sure it is. Is it ethical?
It's all
No.
gray area. I'm a part of you should maybe consider joining and being on the
I'm down.
it's Songwriters of North America. It's like the songwriters organization that we're kind of the goal is, and we have to change the law in Congress first, but Sona
Mm.
helps to lobby Congress. We're hoping that this will eventually be like our union, similar to
I'm so down. We need a
SAG-AFTRA.
union.
Yeah. So Sona is like the beginnings of that. But one of the things that obviously we're discussing a lot right now is AI.
Hmm.
What the laws are, how can we work around it?
Yeah.
Many of these AI song things, they say in their terms of service because they're trying to kind of protect themselves that you're not supposed to use it for commercial use.
Yeah, but they're all using it. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. There's a new one called Donna AI that says you
Mm.
can use it for commercial use, and I'm like, don't like that. Like,
No,
they
it's
are
it's immoral.
it's
It's
off the
it's
rails. And it's like, I was thinking about this last night. It's really funny. It's like, you know what? If humans, you're never going to stop people from like using these
no,
services. It's just
no.
not going to happen. If people want to use it to like make their own lo-fi chill music, if they want to use it to make their
Cool.
own songs, great. Even if they want to like have it on Spotify,
Hmm.
great. But
Cool.
I think we need to have laws in place that make it so and Spotify, there should be tools that should be able to like tell
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
it's,
for sure. Like detection
creating it,
tools.
but AI detection tools. I think these AI companies have a responsibility to put somewhere in the code that this was created with AI, even though it doesn't
Mhm.
hear it. It just like has it in there. I don't know what that would be. That's not my,
I have faith. I have faith
expertise.
that that will be a thing
But
for sure.
it's like cool. We want it on Spotify because people like that kind of music. Like, great. But
Mhm.
like, it doesn't get to basically for our listeners how Spotify pays out. It's like it has its revenue. Spotify keeps 30% of it, and then the 70% is paid out to like
Mhm.
master and publishing owners.
Mhm.
Um, I don't think AI should have access to that
I
pool of
agree. Yeah,
money.
I agree.
It's like if you want it on there, great, but like you don't get paid from it. Sorry,
It's murky. Um
dude. There's just
I,
one guy.
I know.
He's made like tens of thousands of AI songs, and they're on Spotify, and he's
Yeah.
making so much money.
Yeah, it's
It's absurd.
look,
It's
I have a
crazy.
lot of yeah, I have a lot of AI is listen, it's AI is here. It's gonna
Right.
happen.
Right.
Um, I have a couple things to say. I
Do it.
think
Say it.
Storm Thorgerson is one of my favorite visual designers ever. He
Hmm.
did Muse artworks. He did Pink Floyd. He did Audio Slave. He's my favorite graphic visual artist. I think he passed away in like what, a little over 10 years ago.
I don't know. Yeah.
And you could just go in Midjourney. It's like, I don't know, make me an apple in Storm Thorgerson style, and it makes it. I think that that's not okay. I think that that should go if I'm paying a subscription, it should go to his family or estate.
Right.
Like I don't understand why it's not ethical. Also, like listen, are these Behringer synths great? Yes. Is what they did with the Lindrum one ethical? No. I don't think so. I think copying it straight up and not giving anything to
Well,
Roger Linz.
this is like the devil's advocate side, right?
Yeah,
Where it's like this is their response a lot of time. Where it's like I can pay any Joe Schmo right now to like be like, hey, I want you to like even like what's going on right now with like the Studio Ghibli stuff with
it's
like that chat.
crazy.
It's like
Yeah,
I can pay an artist right now to be like, hey, can you like make a picture of me and my wife
yeah,
in the style of Studio Ghibli? And like that's completely legal to do. They just
yeah.
can't like
Yeah,
mass produce it, right? There's so
yeah,
like that's like the again, I don't like that argument because to me it's like, well, if AI is doing it, then like you shouldn't be able to profit off it. You
yeah.
know, like that's the thing. And it's yeah, it's all and like I don't think anyone really has the answers. It's all really complicated. I
It's
think,
murky.
you know, because like
Yeah,
I do get that argument where it's like, well, I can pay anyone to do that and it's legal. And
yeah,
it's like, why can't AI do it? And it's like, okay, I see your point. I don't like it,
yeah.
but I can at least
You know, there's
right,
a bit of a weed out with having to
right,
pay, you know, six hundred
right,
dollars to an illustrator to make you a
right,
Ghibli
right.
version, whereas this is instant and it's from a company that is just training off of everything
Exactly.
essentially,
Yes.
not
That's the
paying
thing about
anyone.
AI.
It's for
It can't,
profit.
it is not creative. It can just create things based off other people's
Yeah.
creations. It can't make anything original. It's always based off other things. Hey, gang, I just wanted to pop in here to let you know that the best way you can help this podcast grow is to rate and review us wherever you listen to podcasts. It tells the algorithm to push our show to other listeners so we can grow, and it's one of, if not the best way to help support this podcast. So if you wouldn't mind, take a second to rate this podcast. Sharing it with your friends would be amazing too. All right, back to the pod.
I always support, listen, human to human. It'll always, this guy in a flight one time, I don't remember, he was this old guy on the flight. I don't remember where. He was like, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah,
And I think that what he meant by that, I was like, I didn't agree with it when he said it. And I thought
yeah,
about it. I'm like, wait, like all of these tools can come out with music, but writing a great song is never going to change.
right,
The foundation of certain things just stay the same, like toilet paper never changes.
yeah.
Um, Seinfeld reference.
But I mean
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's like even like I think the most similar thing to this in a way with just like human behavior and how we just like have a new thing and it's cheap and we don't have to pay for things was like Napster with
Yep.
music.
Yep.
And Napster did so much damage. It devalued music
Yeah.
so much because people, and this is, it's like my argument, whereas like Spotify should be at least $25 a month. The fact that it's
Mm.
like, I always make the joke with people where it's like, you're paying $10 a month for all the music ever made. It's
Crazy.
a joke. It's
Yeah.
a joke to me. And I was
Mm.
like, you guys don't realize, like a lot of these like young kids don't realize it's like growing up, like you and I, like we're paying, you know, anywhere
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
like $10 to $20 for every album. And we were buying albums, like multiple albums a month. You know what I mean? And it's like
Yeah.
the second that Napster came in, devalued music, the second that iTunes came in and was like, every song is $1. And that also like that was every song is $1 was from like 2005. And that we haven't like raised that value for like
I know.
inflation is also like insane to me. Um, you know, it's
Yeah.
like all these things, and so I think what I'm scared with AI is that people are gonna like see these things where it's like, cool, if people want custom art, like the Studio Ghibli, just as an example, because it's what's being talked about right now. Great, but like
Mm.
now, what you're saying, like what you would have paid someone like any, you know, a couple $100 to do, it's like now you're like used to paying like $5 for, and now you're gonna be like, well, why am
Yeah.
I gonna pay? You know, so that's the thing I get really scared about too, where it's like, yes, I'm worried about like obviously like artists who have made a ton of money already, like,
Yeah.
um, but I'm also worried about like the people who are like, I don't know, like this is like my job, and like now it's like it's just
Hmm.
again, it's like what we are saying earlier. It's like the it's the songwriters that are just starting out that aren't as successful that like who really hurt the most. And it's,
Yeah, it's to me this it's exploitation
oh yeah.
and disguised as innovation
Mm-hmm.
right now. The Ghibli thing, and I love Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli is like, I mean, it's some of my favorite movies ever
Yeah,
made,
yeah.
and the
I'm just starting to watch
soundtracks.
them with my daughter now, so it's like so cool. Like,
Oh, but it's I don't know, it's a slap in the face, and I
yeah.
think I don't like malnourished men in Silicon Valley deciding how artists should do things. Like I really don't like that. It's
No, I
it's
don't
it's
either. Yeah.
annoying. We've dealt with it for 20 years now. Or like some random Swedish guy with Pirate
Yeah.
Bay. Like I don't know. I don't like these one just malnourished people that are like, please, no, please, you make music this way. It's how it should be. No, you're one fucking person. How
Yeah.
are you? I don't like it. I'm old school in a way, I
Yeah.
guess.
I love it.
Uh,
I love it, man. You
just
I mean, listen, that's why I wanted you on the podcast. This is why I think you're such a great human. But I want to move
ditto.
on just because
Yeah.
I don't want to take up too much of your time. I
Oh,
want to
it's
move
all
on to the
good.
song. No, no, no. I want to move on to the first song deep dive that we're going to
Oh
do.
yeah,
This was one of your, I mean, it was your first big song, right?
yep.
Everything Black
Everything
uh,
black.
by Unlike Pluto here featuring Mike Taylor came out in 2017.
Hmm.
Before we go into the more nerdy stuff in the production, why don't you tell me about how that collaboration happened and how the right and everything went down?
We were introduced. My manager knew his manager. We were introduced. We had two sessions. Both first two sessions were both highly. We both have asthma and we're both allergic to cats. So there was a cat at the studio and we're both dying. So we like bonded. I just became. Mike is such a wonderful person. He's one of my
Yeah.
best friends. I love him so much. We just like really bonded. We made ballads and just random stuff. And then he came for the third session. We had it in the A room. And yeah, that's how we became friends. And I made a trip hop beat, just trip hop. It was
Yeah.
literally just like legit Massive Attack, Morchiba, Portishead. And he somehow makes everything black on it, the acapella. And it was inspired by, oh my God, I forgot her name. Who's saying Strange Fruits?
I can look it up and on
Oh my
here.
gosh.
Here we go. We got the whole interwebs.
It's so disrespectful. I'm
Oh,
just
Billie
mad.
Holiday. Billie
Nina,
Holiday.
the cover, Nina
Oh, Nina
Simone.
Simone.
Nina
Okay.
Simone. Well, there's a Nina Simone interview
For
about
yeah.
just black and blackness,
Yeah.
and it's such a beautiful interview, and how just how she represents herself is amazing, and she's an amazing artist as well. One of my
Yeah.
favorite
Of
singers.
course. Yeah.
She after that we made everything black. It was trip hop, and then he was like, Armand, just delete everything under it, and just do piano. And I trusted him. I trusted Mike. Didn't even question it. Everything black.
There
And
you
then I
go.
used the Japanese drum kick and snare from that I sampled from like the 70s. I don't
Sick.
remember. And then it just worked in the song. It just like did that.
Yeah.
Man, that's how it happened.
And that's it. And then you just spent countless hours on it, producing it out.
And
And
that lead part, that dun 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 dun
yeah,
dun
yep.
dun dun, it came in like 5 minutes. It just was bam. It just happened.
Well, it's like a really simple melody, and but it's like it's in
So
the sound
simple.
choices and the layers. And I mean, that was one of my questions. So since we're talking about it,
Mm.
what was that main sound? It sounds like some kind of like brass or saxophone or horn
This
instrument or something.
trombone. There's just
Trombone.
my friend gave me, I don't remember which one, but it was a trombone shorts library. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna use it. And then it was that mixed with his vocal sampled.
Yeah.
Um, because I was very I love EDM, but at the time I felt like everyone sounded the same.
Hmm.
So I wanted to just do, I was obsessed with like Artie Shaw, who's one of the few humans on earth to make clarinet sexy, I think. Um, he did. No one else could but him. He made it sexy. And yeah, I was obsessed with like just jazz at the time. And then I
Yeah.
just wanted to implement that into EDM. And that's how that came out. I just
Yeah,
used
I
trombone.
mean, that's what I always loved about your early sound, where
Yeah.
it was like I was like doing a ton of EDM, like top lining at the time, and it was always such the same shit. And then I
Oh,
started working with you, and I was like, oh. Like
Can be different.
this be different. Like these are
Yeah.
sounds, and you really did have your own sound. I thought it was so cool how you were trying to use like more jazzy influences in these
Mm,
drops that no one else was doing.
yeah.
It was something I always admired
Mm,
so much about you. So let's get into the session here, and I wanted to this is actually special. This is producer points first. Maybe we can start doing this a little bit more often.
hell
Um,
yeah.
but Unlike Pluto here is going to open up the
Sure.
session and share his screen.
Okay, so listen, this session is from 2015. Okay.
2015.
So I mean, I finished it in 20. It's a long story, but like,
Yeah.
it's 2015. So a lot of these plugins are not only disabled, they like are gone.
This is also
Um,
a good lesson that I try and tell everyone where it's like when a song is done, you do a save as and you commit fucking everything.
Everything. Oh, I do it
Everything.
now. I didn't know,
Yes.
I didn't
No,
know
no,
at the
no.
time.
Of
Yeah.
course, I didn't. I'd say when I was first starting out, but it's like this is like what this podcast is for. It's like learn from our mistakes.
Oh, absolutely. It's yeah, I definitely learned from that.
Yes.
Um, I'm opening it now, but this I thought it'd be cool to show how I used to make music just so unhinged
Yes.
and like so like all this the same color. What was I
Right.
thinking? You know? What is that? Why
So
are all these the same color?
that is
Um,
stressful.
it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Um, but I thought it'd be interesting to show you like how if you just keep doing something and you keep putting your hours in, I know the
Yes.
10,000 hours, whatever it is, like you just build your skill base, like it can turn into something really cool, you
Yeah.
know?
Dude, it's like it's really incredible because the second song we're going to talk about in a little bit is your most recent release. So I think it's really
Yeah.
cool that we're going like from one of your earliest to
It's more
here.
rock. It's more rock, but yeah,
Yes.
it's
But
still,
it's still you can kind of see. So I mean, what before I ask my questions, what were some of the things that you wanted to show some of our listeners?
what I think is special about this song is just the writing. I don't think any of this production is special. It was, he wrote a good top line. Melodies are amazing. The structure is very simple. At the time, it was very simple.
Mhm.
Um, lyrics are great. The chords are great. Like, I think all of the lead part, all the fundamentals are just totally there. That I
Yeah.
think it'd be hard to mess this up. I mean, it's possible to mess it up for sure. I've definitely
No,
heard
but
great songs.
I mean, listen, I'm a songwriter first. I agree with you that it's like the top line is almost, unless you do an instrumental track, like the top line is almost always super
Yeah,
important. But
it's the
I'm gonna,
most important part,
I know
in my
I'm gonna
opinion.
disagree with you. I think the track is very special, but obviously,
I don't know.
so
I mean,
you know,
I didn't do anything crazy. I used to have a lot of auxiliary channels, which
yeah.
I'm
But
looking at.
all, dude, all the best productions are like really simple at the end of the day.
No,
They're really simple and they just kind of like it's just good uh parts, and that's
yeah.
what you did.
Look at all of these are disabled.
Yeah, they're. I mean, that was just your process of just doing the thing.
Look, I had two ozones on this channel. What did I do here? I don't even know. It's
On a send. But yeah, what was Ozone doing on a send? I'm
I
curious.
don't. I have no idea.
Yeah,
I
God,
think that was
so
for the lead part. If I were to
that makes
guess,
sense.
this is not what I
Just
would do today. Okay.
yeah, just hyping it
Um,
up.
but like, yeah, I think the lead. Um,
And a little vocal chop.
yeah, just
Very cool.
very compressed.
Yeah,
That's EDM, you know.
right.
And then yeah, I was using brass.
Very nice.
All of these are disabled, so it's not the way
Right.
to go.
Yes. Yeah.
And I would just layer with like I like combining organic sounds with synthesized sounds.
Yeah.
There's a few producers that do that really well. Who's the guy that did Euphoria soundtrack?
Oh God.
What's his name?
I know who you're talking about. Actually, I love him, but now my name is just blanking out on him.
We have to find it. Hold on.
Labyrinth. Jesus.
Labyrinth.
Yeah.
I think is
Dude, he's
again.
incredible. Incredible.
He's so good that it makes me mad.
Yeah.
But no, Labyrinth is really good at like the really organic sounds and his vocal parts, and then just has such synthesized like it's a synth that's so synthy sounding, and it
Yeah.
fits so well. And I'm like, oh, it's so good.
I mean,
But I
it's
used
crazy.
to do that.
I'm just looking at this where it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers for that
Yeah, oh, yeah.
main sound.
Crazy.
Yeah.
This was
But
a
it sounds
piano.
like one sound, which is super cool. Yeah. Sick.
I don't even hear that, to be honest,
Yeah.
but like I would take that out today for sure.
Yeah. But it's doing a thing.
Huh?
I said it's doing a thing. It's like
It's
covering up the high end.
it's doing something.
Yeah.
And also something I used to do that I wouldn't do today. I don't do this at all today. Is I quantize this completely. I never do that today.
Yeah.
I would leave it. I would just play it until I felt it was right.
But that
But
was
this,
also so much the sound of the time, right? Like everything in
yes,
EDM was like
yeah,
so stiff in at that time. And it was like I think it was. I mean, the song was super successful, so it clearly was the right move for what you were
yeah,
doing
yeah.
here.
It was. Listen, stroke of luck. Okay, but yeah, I would never. Just for reference, I would never do this today. Okay, this is I would never quantize like this.
Yeah.
Um,
You know,
and
one of the other questions I had on the record
mm,
too was there's the really cool bass sound on there. What was do you remember what you were doing there? Or like what was
I
happening?
oh specifically, I go
Yeah.
through phases of I'm obsessed with bass. Okay,
Yeah.
I go like the you mean like the sub and actual bass sound.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, not like a synth bass or anything.
No, I mean whatever it was. Yeah,
Okay,
I
okay.
don't know. Yeah.
Glad you asked.
Yes.
So at the studio I used to work at, the DJ Mustard was there for like I think like I don't know like 2 months. He was so nice, by the way, so nice. And his engineer was there, a mixing engineering guy. Um, and I remember how they layered 808s. And I don't know if it's changed, but this is how I was taught: is they would not only get the same 808, pan left and right, take out the low, and I promise you, I'm doing full circle
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Um, but basically, they show me how to pan 808s and even getting different 808s and just taking out the low end and just like using sometimes the low mids, but sometimes just the mids and the highs, and then turning it down, like distorting it, use different distortions. They would do that with their 808s. And I'm not saying, I don't know if he did it, maybe it was just for that song. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Who
I
knows?
don't know
No,
what
but
song it was.
I know people do that a lot.
Totally. This is like, 2015, and I was like, whoa, dude. But yeah, this specific, this is not being used. This 808 is called Up All Night 808, and I used this. I don't know where I found this. It was in a random sample pack that I
Yeah.
got from someone. I used this 808 on everything. I was obsessed with it. When you distort it, it had this like sound to it that was and I layered it with synths and left and right. You can see here, I mean, a lot of it's just saturation. I would saturate it slightly differently, so it had a little bit of like a stereo
Yeah. Yeah.
situation. And yeah, we'll also just distort it and keep it mono, and keep this one also a lot of saturation.
Dude, can I tell you something about that up all night? Because I was like, you know what? You and I used to share samples, and I'm
Yeah.
curious if and I have it because you
Oh,
gave it
you
to
have
me.
it?
Yeah.
So good.
So
Dude,
funny.
I don't use it anymore because there's so many
Yeah, there's so many
808s
other
now.
ones, but that's
Um,
so funny. I was like, I wonder if I have it. But sorry, keep
yeah,
going.
yeah, yeah. I think maybe a lot of people do because I think a lot of producers were exchange. We didn't have Splice at the
No,
time.
that's what it was at the time. Like you would work with other producers and you would just like exchange samples, and everyone ended up having the same samples.
I know. It's
But
yeah. I used this, and I did like a remix from Mike Stud, if you know who he is. That was weirdly my favorite remix I think I've ever done.
yeah,
Was that Mike Stud song? Um, and I used this. I forgot who his producer was. Lewis Bell
yeah,
at the time, and I remember like showing them the 808s in like the session. It was crazy. Like,
yeah,
but point is, this 808,
yeah.
I used it on everything, and I also have a weird obsession with 808s and imperfect basses. I have a weird obsession with it. I don't know what's wrong with me. But if I do a real bass, I love sometimes keep it real. Because
Right,
I have a 5-string Schecter and a 4-string P bass.
right.
I love real bass, but man, 808. Oh.
It just does a thing. It's like it does a thing that a real bass can never do. It's it's a different instrument.
Yeah, totally. It's a different instrument.
um,
Yeah, on this one I used this. I just learned how to do this. And I did and you asked earlier what started my career. I think technically what started my career was the Diplo Revolution remix that I did. For
Hmm.
it was bootleg, got signed. Diplo was like, that remix I think started everything for me. And then that was the first time I tried using 808 layering, and then it transitioned into this. Um, and yeah, also like there's a lot of
I want. Can we actually take a peek at those like left and right 808s? I'm just very
yep.
curious, like what was going on there for our listeners.
So here's what I don't know if I would heavily sidechain. I would heavily sidechain the layers, and this is Pro Q2.
Two. We're on four now.
Um, I would saturate it however I wanted. We didn't have the saturator was a lot more simple
Yeah.
back then. But I think I would just take out probably up, if I were to guess, maybe to 200 hertz. I would
Yeah.
maybe sometimes lower depending on the song if I had other stuff happening.
Right.
And on this one, I would not only saturate it differently, slightly differently, I would choose sometimes a different mode of saturation or a different saturator entirely, but sometimes that doesn't sound good.
Right.
And then I would keep the compression and keep the sidechain the same, which I'm
Right.
not sure why I was compressing this, but it's okay.
Yeah. So you just want, I mean, to like give it that constant like mid forward push, so you can always hear it through any speaker, probably.
Yeah.
Sure.
But also I would do the EQ differently, slightly, like by like 15 hertz, and it made this like stereo thing. And I always tried because our laptops had really terrible speakers at the time. I would try and make the sub sound so good on those speakers. And I think a person in EDM who I think did it the best was Aural Grime. I think he had the best sub and the best like trap hitting drops. Oh, dude, he was so good.
I love that. Yeah, I've never really done that with 808s, like doing like the panning thing. I've done like other techniques with it. I do a very similar thing with my guitars where it's like, when I layer a guitar, we can talk about this more on the next song. And it's basically like the same guitar tone left and right. And I use this great plugin called Spectre, but it's basically
Okay.
it's a saturator EQ, and like I'll just saturate them at different points on the EQ slightly differently, and then immediately it's like, oh, it's so much wider.
Oh yeah.
And it feels bigger. Um,
Yeah.
I want, and the other thing, because I'm trying, sorry, I'm trying to keep it
it's all good. It's all good.
in time here. The other thing about the song that I thought was really cool is maybe we could check out that kick and snare you were talking about that are so iconic in the song.
Yeah, this is a kick from a Japanese song.
Sick.
And I didn't really do much to it.
Yeah.
Just EQ'd it, but I EQ'd a lot. I would surgically remove. I remember we don't have access to it.
Right.
But I was really weird about EQing at the time. I still do it kind of. I would really just go in and surgically remove frequencies that were not in tune with the song, but I wouldn't go crazy with it. It'd be very subtle. And yeah, I just did that. I layered it with like random other kicks, left and right, I'm assuming. No, there's just two centers. And I was sending, where was this? I was sending to a reverb or a payload compression, which I still do. And there was another kick. Hold on. Yeah, it's so simple.
Dude,
I got lucky with this kick though. That doesn't always happen. So, and then the clap. Yeah, let's just mute. I didn't group we couldn't do groups within groups at this time.
No, I know, right? Isn't that so annoying? Oh, it's sick.
Oh, I used to do this a lot. I used to get a sample and then play like a chord with it. So I
remember you would do that. I would watch you do it, and you would just hit your fucking keyboard.
I don't just break the rules.
Yeah,
that's a snare. I used to layer my snares like this. I remember. It's just a compressor. I didn't do anything to it.
No, that's what I think it is about drums, where people the samples are already so heavily compressed and they're so affected that it's you shouldn't be doing too much to it at the end of the day.
No, and yeah, I used to do this. I used to get 80 snares and just put reverb on it.
It's sick. It sounds great. I mean, I think that reverb snare is such a big part of the sound.
Oh yeah, for sure. I love big stadium drums. Yeah, it just has, and I got again. I think it was lucky. The drum the kick that I found. And it was something I sampled from a vinyl. So it felt very romantic. That's also something I want to stress to a lot of musicians is find little things in your process, romantic things. Like sometimes I wake up very like religiously. I would wake up and just go on like samplet.io and just randomize and just find like cool little like
Dude, I do
or
that. I do that on Splice all the
yeah,
time. Just hit random and just
same
like
yeah
see what I can find. And like that's what I mentioned earlier, that Tracklib website where it's like I'm just trying to like find cool things and like things that instantly inspire me.
yeah
I think it's just like as producers, I think it's so important to like
yeah.
start collecting sounds and you're like, ooh, this would be cool to like bring
Mm.
into a session, or bring into a production. Um,
100%.
dude,
If you like the reason why I'm like the romantic side is
mhm.
if you go out of your way to make that into a hi-hat or something, no one might notice it, but you may think that that's really special. And I think the energy the love that it creates and this romanticism of the process, I think makes literally is making something with love. So I think sometimes you need to find those weird things. Like, and I grew up in Atlanta, so a lot of the soul food in Atlanta. Shout out to Kenley's in Atlanta, amazing restaurant. I don't know if it's still open, but it's so good. Like, I always asked the lady who owned it, or I don't know if she owned it, but I'm assuming she did. Um, it's like, why is this so good? She's like, I make it with love, honey.
Yeah,
You know,
that's what I
like
mean, got to make
it's
music with
love.
love.
Yeah,
Yeah,
find it. You know.
dude, it's so important.
Oh my god, it's the most important thing
Yeah,
I think.
I want to move on
Um,
to your
yeah.
next song. I hadn't listened to the song yet, which shame on me until you
Oh,
told me
dude,
like, hey, I
it's
want
okay. So many songs. Yeah.
no.
Um,
That's what you were like one of the people where it's like, dude, I don't even know where to begin. Like, what songs do you want to do? Because there's too many
yeah.
here. But we're gonna talk about your song "Boom,"
Boom. Let's
and
do
I
it.
listened to it, and dude, that I mean, it's such a cool song.
I love that song,
Uh,
man. It's cool.
before we get into the nit and gritty of it,
Mm.
what was again? Where was the idea? How the write go about? What's the story behind it?
Trying to find the session before
Yeah, yeah.
I have a weird naming system. I'm just trying to find it. Let's hope this is it.
We'll
I
find
think
out.
it's it. Um, Me and Joanna wrote the song. I was on
For our listeners, Joanna, what's her full name?
Joanna Alexis Jones. She's
Yes.
also on my duo with Wymona, and we did "Want to Be Together," "Want to Be Sped Up" version. I'm
I
just
mean, you
kidding.
guys have been working
Um,
together for just as long. I've met her a
10 years.
couple times. Yeah, so she
10 years.
wonderful, very very sweet person, super
Um,
talented, amazing
yeah, she
voice.
did. She was in Hamilton for like 5 years or so.
I didn't
New
know
York.
that.
Yeah, she was in Hamilton. She also did Hamilton here. She's an amazing singer, amazing performer. And her and I have this like writing. We've written hundreds of songs together.
Yeah,
So that kind of song, like, dude, it just like fucking it flows out. You know, like you just sit down, don't think. When you write so much music, don't overthink it. Don't try and make something cool.
no,
Just let some poop come out, not literally, metaphorically. Like just let really terrible things come out, and then
yeah,
you can turn it. Trust your process, and you can turn it into something cool. And then also know when to give up. I know when to give up with songs. If it makes me feel icky, if I feel icky, okay, I like using the word icky. If I
yeah,
feel icky, like I sometimes it's 10 minutes in, sometimes it's 2 hours in. It changes, but I just know when to not work on it.
dude.
I
It's
don't know
it's
why.
such a it's again. It's like it's what I tell people. It's like trust your gut. Your gut to usually write. Where it's like I've learned to like in a room where it's like we're writing something, and in my head I'm like this isn't
Yeah.
it. Like now I just say it. I'm just like guys, like let's.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry, that
there you
scared me.
go. No. But like, yeah, now I'm that guy in the session where it's like, guys, let's like, we can save this idea. It's not going anywhere. Let's start something new. But okay, cool. Tell me the story behind this song and how you guys started writing it and everything.
I was on the phone with my mom and I was just messing on guitar. And I'm like, ooh, that could be a whole song. And then it just turned into it. And I remember Joanna came to me that day and was like, do you remember this like Disney song from like 2001? It was like boom or whatever. It was like a
Yeah.
boom. And we're like, dude, that'd be cool if we just did like you saying the hook of something like, you know, just tick tick boom. And then
Right.
we turned it into like anger, someone holding an anger and then exploding at a certain point. Because some people like to do that.
Yeah.
Um, And now we just made the song, and as you can see, this one is 26 hours.
There you go.
So
That's not that bad. That's not that bad.
not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, some songs are so fast, and
Yes.
other songs it's a
grind.
yeah, it's like a complete journey.
It's a real
of,
grind.
like,
I also
getting the
love.
chorus.
This is so much fun to see like how much neater everything is too.
I know.
And, like you have it like separated. Well, you can do groups now when you couldn't before, but you have it like separated by like instruments and drums and vocals.
I do DOS. I do DOS drums. I don't know why I do that.
Hey, whatever floats your boat, my friend.
You know, I like to separate my drums, and I call it inst. It's just the instruments.
I do the same thing. Yeah.
I usually group like this. That's why I call it inst. But I didn't do it for this one. But I like to separate the drums. I like my kick and snare, if it's that kind of song,
right?
To be in its own group, because I like to treat that in relation to the 808 or the bass or the sub,
right?
Always. And as you can see, my mastering chain. And again, this is a song I'm not going to say I rushed, but I had a deadline of like 5 days or something. So I would be more meticulous with this process. I didn't do stems for this one, which is odd for me. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, like kick and snares like to be different. I like my crashes to be separate. I like my hi-hats to be separate. And I also like using real hi-hats.
Oh, so you have them right there, don't you?
Yeah. And I have a vintage snare from like, I don't know, like 1960.
Oh, sick.
I love layering, like, you know, real stuff, like drum fills.
Were there
I
real,
like doing that myself.
Were there real hats in this song?
No. It wasn't in this song.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get lazy.
Yeah, whatever. Sometimes it doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need that feel of a real hi-hat. I think that's like the one thing when you're doing fake drums. It's like the hi-hat is the giveaway. Like crashes, toms, kicks, and snares, it's like there's really not a huge difference anymore, but it's in the hi-hat that it's like, oh, okay, that's where we're not quite there yet.
Yeah, I think my brain, I just ADD'd right now. Yeah, I think it's very important. I've been using those so much recently. Even if it's very subtle.
No,
and I want to talk to you about layering too.
Please. That was one of my questions.
But I think we can go to a like Saturn song, because those only take me 1 hour to make.
Yeah.
But I want to show you. I want musicians to let go. Just start from something, and then just keep. But that's a separate conversation.
Right.
But yeah, okay. So drums separate, kick and snare separate, and even within the kick and snare, I like to have the kick didn't have a group here,
right?
Because I just found the right kick. And also, do you see this plugin?
Yeah. What is that?
Oh, dude, this is my favorite plugin of all time. It's called Atlas, and it randomizes drum samples in your library, and it reads it. And this is my big library, H&L. It's like 300 gigabytes.
I'm literally going to go look this up right now. I've seen plugins similar to this, but this looks like it's a little bit better.
Oh, I love it so much. It's just one kick. Compressed, it's metal. So you have to compress. But yeah, this is just one kick, but I group my snares. And I like to, I didn't do it in this song, but I actually like, these are my samples right here.
Right.
That I sampled every day in 2015. These are all like my drum breaks and drum fills.
Sick.
Like these are stuff that I sampled for like a year.
Oh my God.
And I sometimes, if I'm doing especially metal or whatever kind of music, I like to get kick and snare MIDI and just choose one loop that I like, and or two loops, left and right, kick and snare, take out the lows and turn it down, and then put it off time. And snare crack, but then layering it with like vintage stuff. That's why I got that snare. It's like a Roger snare from 1961 or something. And all my acoustic guitars, I have like 2 Guilds from the 1960s and 70s.
Love that.
Like, Guild is my favorite. And yeah, that's the drums. And then it's just a lot of
well, I wanted to ask some specific questions about the guitars. Let's those verse guitars, the clean verse guitars. I love at how sloppy they are. Was that just
Yeah.
like you just working quickly, or was that like kind of like a conscious decision to like be like, nah, we're gonna keep it a little bit sloppy?
There is a subconscious thing where sometimes you just it was a first take. I'm assuming. Yeah, this is me just making the song.
Right.
So
You're just
that
like
like yeah,
kind of
that's
messing
the
around.
first
Yeah.
take. Sometimes you're like, you know what, that's fine. Fuck it, move on, right? I don't need to perfect this part.
Yeah.
That's just how I felt. It's just it was like a feeling. It didn't even cross my mind to like redo it.
Right.
Um, so that sloppiness is always something I'm trying to do. I think subconsciously because I don't think anything should feel perfect
Right.
in music. Anything, which is also to go into EDM why I love Flume because he was never really. I mean, he was EDM, but to me, he was just Flume. Uh, I was going to start out how much I think he's
Yeah.
one of the best producers ever.
Yep.
But his drums are so imperfect. Everything is so out of
Oh,
time, and
they're so good.
it's amazing. It's why that's maybe one of the reasons why imperfect equals beauty. Um, and yeah, I did nothing to this guitar. Oh, the verse guitar. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
chorus.
I thought
Um,
I was like I thought that said verse chorus guitar, but I was like, I don't know, maybe he knows better than I do. But
yeah, this left and right. Probably a first take. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. It just feels cool though. It makes it feel
yeah,
super raw.
just left and right. Look, I did nothing to it.
Yeah. And that was my next question. When you're recording guitars, like are you using real amps? Are you using a Kemper? Like what are you mostly using?
So I use a combination of Kemper. I do have a silver Jubilee and a orange little tiny tear. Though that this is just Kemper. This is my I use a Roland or a Randall, an old Randall amp from like the 90s or
Right.
something. But I know a lot of producers are now using real guitar because I miss the real tube sound. They're using real tube heads and they're just going into doing IR
Yeah,
for
well,
cabs.
they have like the aux box. That's the big one that a lot of
Yeah,
people are using. But yeah, I think that's like the new thing. It's like you get
yeah,
you start collecting these heads, and then you just have like a IR
yeah,
box, and they sound really really good. I think that's what I'm gonna
yeah.
do next. I have a Kemper
Me too.
currently, and I have my real amp here that I'll use every once in a while. But like, I don't like recording guitars during a
Oh,
session. It's just it's
it's
too much
loud.
work.
It's
Yeah,
loud.
it's loud and like it kills the vibe, and I just want to
Yeah,
work quickly. And I think getting an aux box is kind of my next step because I want to
yeah,
start collecting heads and like just be like, cool, like let's just do that.
yeah, yeah. I think the impulse response for the cabinets. I think now like there's a new like output on these amps.
Hmm.
I know the Mesa Boogie Mark 7 has it because I used to have a Mark 3,
Right.
which I sold like an idiot in 2009. I should not
Right.
have done that. Okay. Um, but yeah, I think a lot of these new amps have impulse response output. You
Yeah.
can
No.
just
No.
put
No.
it
They're
in
so.
whatever. It's like it's because we used to have attenuators like what was it called? Hot rod? No, it was like a thing where it turns down the
Yeah.
signal
Yeah.
so you can
Yeah.
crank the tubes.
Yes. 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 I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the trouble, but I know what you're talking because I used to use them because I like you want to crank the
Mm.
tube. That's why that tiny terror is so good. It's like only like what like a couple watts or whatever, and you can like
Oh yeah,
really push it, and it doesn't get like super super loud. I want to move on a little bit
yeah,
just because
yeah, yeah. Okay.
we're gonna be a little bit over if we don't. But my one question was in like the drop in the chorus, how many
Yep.
layers of like the rhythm guitars were there? Because they sound great.
So okay. There is a few things with this. There's a lot of
Yeah.
layers. um, I have a very specific guitar amp that I love using. It's a secret of mine. It's a
Okay.
really old amp from I think it's from the early '90s. It's a
Sick.
Randall. I don't know which one. I keep forgetting, but I use it all the time for my metal stuff. But the trick for this one is I did layer. I think I did layer 808s. No, it's real bass. I use my Schecter 5 string.
Great.
Uh, I'll get into it. I'm just trying to. I also haven't
Yeah.
seen the
Yeah.
session in like a
No.
month,
No.
so I'm
You're
trying to,
refreshing your memory. It's great.
Um, yeah. Okay. Use that. Okay, so I did for this
Disgusting. I love it.
song. I did not use much sidechain for the
Yep.
drop. That's number one, which is again makes your life harder to mix it. Barely any sidechain. I used two guitars left and right, just fully distortion. One in the center. I what did I do? Hold on. Yeah, I just like resampled this and just octave down and then turn it down and like EQ'd Yeah, so you just boost up the
Yeah.
highs, took out the lows. 808s are muted, so those didn't work. I tried it, didn't work.
Hmm.
I had a vocal lead on here.
Okay,
Let's go, it's Joanna.
that was my question. I was gonna ask, like, what's that like kind of synthy lead in the background? But clearly, it's a vocal that you just like fucked up.
It's a vocal. I try anything I can do to make a vocal. I'll do it with a vocal.
Yeah.
And then lead. I did some layers on those. The lead.
Sick.
As like textures, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what I think made the guitar pop a lot was my 5-string bass, my Schecter with EMGs on it. And this
Yeah.
is for metal, okay?
Right.
I treated the bass like a guitar for layers. Left and right. And then, yeah, together, everything, it's going to be loud. Tell me if it's too loud.
That'll be fine.
Boom. Just pops in.
Woo!
And I think that the trick to this is metal, but I think the trick is don't overuse sidechain. And
No,
if you want shit to sound huge, just you gotta have the right kick and snare and right layers for your guitars. But it's not, I don't think it's too many layers. I've heard that old Nickelback songs used to layer like 8 guitars.
Yeah, I think you can go overboard, and then you start to get phase issues sometimes too.
Yeah.
And it's like if you just get great tones right away, you know.
Simple.
Yeah, I love it. The one thing I wanted to maybe take a peek at was the mix bus, if you feel comfortable showing that.
Yes.
I know you say you didn't do too much, but like what's
Yeah.
going on with in like I don't know, in like your soothe and over there, just so our listeners can kind of see.
I did a bit less would do. A bit less would do. I do
Okay,
that.
there you go.
Oh, I can't close this window.
That's
Close window.
stupid.
I use Goldfoss.
We love Goldfoss.
Like 3% because I was in a rush. Pro Q.
Just keeping it simple
Just,
there.
I have a low end problem in my studio, so I always know to turn it down by like. I took care of the low end here a little bit more, but usually it's by. I know my room so well. It's negative 3 dB on the sub.
So you're just like you just make sure, dude. I have the same. I use Soothe for that to help me
Yeah.
control it because it's just like I know I have a little dip. What's going on with the ozone over there?
Ozone is EQ.
Great.
I
Those are
turned
on.
off. I did a lot of impact and imager stuff, but I
Yeah.
turned it off because I didn't want it. Clarity, but I'm
Just a smidge, yeah, not a lot.
I guess I was in not a lot. I guess I was in a rush, but usually I will actually use. I love Clariphonic. It's one of my favorite plugins.
Yeah.
I'll do mid-side Clariphonic on my drums, drum bus, instrument bus. I mean bus. I say group now. My drum group, instrument group, and vocal group. And in the vocal group, I don't do mid-side. I do just stereo. So I like
Sick.
to do mid-side. I do a lot of mid-side production while I'm producing too.
Cool.
But I like to do that. I just didn't do it for this song.
Yeah.
'Cause I was in a rush.
Yeah.
So Clarity, but I would use Clariphonic for this. I probably
Okay.
would even turn this off too.
Like the Kush Clariphonic plugin you're talking about.
I'll say it again.
The Kush Clariphonic plugin?
Oh, dude.
Is that what you're talking about? The
Yeah, it's a Kush Audio.
yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's like the real version of it too, which is really good.
Yeah.
Um,
And then I use Dynamic EQ. I was just messing around and found some good settings.
yeah, there you go.
And then Maximizer 7. And I like to keep. This shocked me, but there's a plugin you can A and B mixes. I was shocked to see like the Imagine Dragons Believer, which I think it's a good mix. I
Yeah.
also think Turn Down for What is one of my favorite EDM mixes just ever. The love value that Believer reaches is like -5.
Yeah, dude, they're getting up there. They're able to like
And
really
it's
put.
clean.
Yeah.
So I tried to get this -6, 7 without being crazy.
Yeah,
And I've often found the best way to actually achieve that is to not limit until the very fucking end. For me personally, some people not the case. Some people like to mix with a limiter near the end.
yeah,
And I still do that, but I found my work is less when I'm doing mastering when I just spend more time without it.
right. And you're trying to get things louder. No, I think that's the way to
Yeah.
do it too. Is that I'm trying to get more loudness, perceived loudness too, from like saturators, from in
Yep.
the mix. And then it's like, yeah, on my mix bus too, it's like I'm doing that. And then do you know this trick? Putting
Mhm.
the Oxford inflator after the maximizer,
Say it again.
putting Oxford inflator after your limiter.
Oh no, no.
Dude, it's a move. A lot of people do it now.
Oxford. That's interesting.
It's after the limiter, and you just like put it anywhere from like 5 to like 25, 30%. You find your value,
Oh, that's awesome.
and it just like gives it that little bit of extra.
Oh,
Like
cool.
that's how I
Okay,
think a
okay.
lot of those guys are getting it to like pass that. Okay, dude.
Mhm.
I want to move on because I actually have a session in 15 minutes, so we got to wrap
Okay, cool.
soon.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, anyway, thank you for doing that. That was so much fun
Yeah,
for me.
of course,
Not
man.
everyone is super comfortable sharing sessions, and I'm so thankful
Mm,
that you were able to. So, our next segment here, it is super fun. It's called Plug or Unplug.
okay.
This is for you, for our listeners. This is where I'm going to ask you a plug-in, a piece of gear, an instrument, whatever,
Mhm.
and you'll give me plug if it's something you love to use,
Okay.
unplug if it's not for you,
I like
or
this. I like
or
this.
or bypass, make inactive if like you haven't used it
Okay,
yet.
okay.
All right, here we go. First plug in
Mm.
Shaper Box by Cable Guys.
Unplug.
Unplug, not for you.
Yeah, not for me.
Um, Next plugin. I'm curious if you ever used this one. It's kind of like a not super used synth, like soft synth.
Mm.
UHEs or UHEs Zebra
Mhm.
2.
Not only will I say plug, I will tell you that that is one of the best synths ever made.
Dude,
Okay.
people sleep on it. It's so much fun to use that it's got really unique sounding.
Oh, dude, it's the best synth, but minus Serum 2 and
Serum 2
Simplant
is
and so many others.
I've just begun cracking the code on it, and it sounds so good. Oh my god. I'm
Oh,
like,
dude.
because I was actually never a huge fan of Serum.
Mhm.
And
Same,
this one, it
same.
just like it sounds so good.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and there's no
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah.
Surprising, you know.
Yeah, it's because a lot of it's sample based too. It's really incredible.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
here,
Heavy
yes,
plug for Zebra 2.
dude,
That's
yeah,
the best.
yeah, it's a really, 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 really good one. Next plugin. Curious if you use this one. This one I use on almost every session.
Mm.
Eventide's H3000, like chorus modulation plugin.
Never used it.
Oh, it's great. It's based off like the unit from the '80s that they made.
Okay.
I use it. I mean, I use it a lot, but it's like kind of like my main go-to like vocal widener.
Mm.
That's what I mostly use it for, but it also sounds like great on guitars, great on almost anything where you want that like kind of 80s
Yeah.
kind of modulation, thing. This next plugin I saw that you
Mm.
were that you started using some of the Safari stuff, but I'm just curious if you've
Yeah.
used the one of the newer ones from them, Safari Pedals Cobra Fuzz.
Uh, Plug.
Yeah, you're a
Yeah.
fan of it? Do you like what are you
I
mostly using it
love
on?
Safari so much. It
Mhm.
made it so easy to use and it sounds really cool and it's very versatile.
I love that, dude.
Versatile. It's great.
They're like everything they make. I have to get their new one that they just released. It's like kind of guitar pedally
Oh,
ones.
oh yes, that's so good.
Yeah, I keep I'm
It's
like
so
I
good.
should grab it, and I just keep getting
Heavy
used to it.
plug.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, next plugin. This is a very controversial plugin. We ask it on every plug or unplug.
Okay.
CLA vocals
I don't use it. Unplug.
unplug. Did you ever use it?
Never. I never used it.
Never. Yeah, it's such like
Never.
a it was like especially when we were working, it was like everyone was using it all the time. It was
I know
like
everyone.
yeah,
I
I
never
used
used
it.
it.
I think it's like really good when you have like an SM7 and you're like
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
and like it's an SM7 directly into an Apollo. It's like yeah, that good for that. But like now that I have a bunch of gear already that I'm using, and it's like all right, my stuff is already hyped and good. Like I can't
Mhm.
overhype it. Uh, and you use this one. The last plugin we ask on plug or unplug are usually highly used plugins that almost everyone should use or they should
Okay,
have.
okay.
Oak Sounds Soothe 2
Plug. Just
plug.
CPU needs to chill, but plug.
Well, you could turn. You know what I do? It's like I turn the oversampling off until like I'm ready to bounce stuff.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
helps too. For our listeners. All
Mm.
right, I hate that we're rushing this at the end here, but
It's okay. It's okay.
no, I love it. I mean, dude, if I could do a 2.5 hour long podcast with you, I would.
Bro,
But
anytime.
I know we'll have to have you back. But
Mm.
the last segment that we've been doing this season on Producer Points is we've been asking our guests to give a piece of advice that they wish they could tell their younger selves. that maybe they've gotten from
Mm.
someone else or they've learned? What would you like to tell your younger self?
Oh. Oh. I mean, there's a lot, but I
Of
think
course.
if you do entertainment, you're at war with yourself. You're going to have to do a lot of self learning. Um, I think you'll have dark days and you'll have very bright days too. I think just hang in there and just keep being yourself. I know it sounds cheesy. You have to be yourself. You have to. And I do have this one thing that I've always said to myself is whatever music you feel most guilty about making is the music you should be making. A
Dude,
100%. I think obviously you have client work and all that
right.
stuff, like that's different. But as an artist, you should make music that you like want to make, you know? That's my advice.
I think even if you're a producer doing stuff for pitch, it's like you should still make that kind of music because honestly,
Yeah.
that's the stuff that like is gonna get cut and picked up. And it's like it's
Yeah.
always, we were talking about this before. Like I sent you that kind of like that new metal song that I did that
Yeah.
J-pop group cut.
Hmm.
That was like us just being like, I love new metal, like let's do that. And like never in
Hmm.
a million years would I thought it was gonna get cut by someone
Hmm.
else. We just kind of made it the
That's
artist that,
awesome.
yeah, and it was just like, so take from that experience what you will, but I think
Hmm.
it's super true. It's like that for me is like my guilty pleasure. Like I love Linkin Park. If I could make music like that,
Love it.
I would make it all the time. But dude, I really do love that advice. I think that's incredible. We
Mm.
unfortunately have to wrap here. You have been such an amazing guest. Um, Hopefully we'll
Oh,
have you on some
it
producer point
froze.
roundtables in the future as well. I think you have such a great perspective on so many topics, and I think our listeners would love to hear
Of
that
course.
in the
Of
future.
course.
But dude, before we wrap here, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to, or anything that's coming out soon that you want to plug?
Shout out to all of the up and coming producers.
There we go.
Please hang in there. You're very important to us as well that have been here for a minute. You're very important. Please don't let people take advantage of you too much. And please be yourself. We love you. We're like your unks, okay? We're like the unks of the production community.
Love it.
Please hang in there and please be yourself. And I believe in the Gen Zs are killing it. I think
I
they're going to
I,
do really
I
well.
agree. I agree, man. They're great. Well, dude, thank you again to you, and thank you to our listeners, and take care, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Producer Points. Your support means the world to us. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, and share with fellow music enthusiasts. For an encore, check out our Spotify playlist featuring all the songs we've discussed on the show, giving you the perfect soundtrack to your creative journey. Additional audio and video editing for this episode was done by Nathan Rebello. Until next time, this is Justin Gamella.